Former top shearer and Golden Shears champion Edsell Forde is based on a small property between Cambridge and Hamilton. After years of competitive shearing and travelling, he's set himself up as the lifestyle bloke. Edsell and his wife Marg, who's also a journalist and wool classer, have a large client base of small block holders around the Waikato. Edsell does everything from shearing pet lambs to fencing, topping and grazing management. Marg tracks bookings and keeps the paperwork up to date.
Because there's more and more lifestylers and people working and having a bit of land, I just thought with my background of shearing and being off a farm, I thought there was a chance of building a sort of niche business for lifestylers and all sorts of work. The shearing was a great lifestyle. We travelled all around the world and you meet the real people. But the thing with shearing is it's good when you're a couple or by yourself. When you decide to have children, it's not very good to be carting children all around the world. I don't think it's the best. And we had done it all and it was just time to ease back a bit, really. I sort of started off with the shearing because that's what I did most of. I knew it had to be more than that because, like anything, when you're a shearing contract, it's only seasonal and you had to travel. So it had to be more than just shearing 2 or 3 or 5 sheep. You had to build the other side of the business as well. Look at fixing things, fixing troughs, doing hay, grazing stock. I was leasing land, so that's where I wanted to go with it. I leased quite a bit of land and also I just grazed some smaller blocks to keep the blocks tidy for people and my own land. I fattened about 350 to 400 lambs through the winter. They go in October. It works in my summertime when I'm busy with the shearing side of things over the summer. All my paddocks get locked up for hay or silage. And of course in the Waikato with the Exmouth and stuff, the sheep don't do that well in the summer up here. I prefer to do all hay. Some people buy it off me on the paddock and some people, when I've advertised it in the winter, they come and buy it off me and take it away. And because there's always a shortage, especially for small bales. The traditional bale is a lot easier for lifestylers to handle than the big, you've got the big rounds or big squares, you've got to have the machinery and it doesn't suit really. A block this size you can make money because there's lots of options out there. There's always some dairy farmers looking for grazers of their heifers. There's hay to be made off it if you want to, leasing it out to people that have, because what you're doing is you're tying up a few 10-acre blocks into a bigger block and it becomes more manageable if it's in a close area. So yeah, 10 acres might seem but if you've got 10-acre blocks, it's 100 acres and you're running it in my business where I get around the local area quite a bit. It's not like a lot of special trips because I'm going past doing a lot of shearing and different things anyway.
Hello, you're speaking with Marg. Yep, this is the lifestyle bloke. Yeah, well, I'm not the bloke, but I'm the bloke's message taker. Time is so important that if he goes to one area, he needs to be able to do one job there and then go into another job that's just nearby instead of zigzagging around the country. So making sure that his time was being best utilised.
Okay.
All right?
Yep, I finished my coffee and I'll head off.
Yep.
The software was made for us by our friend Peter Black and he adapted it from his shearing contracting payroll software program that he made. I was doing an awful lot manually and so he just said, okay, what do you need it to do for you? And then he just wrote it. So basically I said, ideally I'd like it to be able to, when I type in someone's last name, it needs to come up with where that person lives, what their phone number is. It needs to tell me what area they're in, and it needs to have a blank space so I can write in what the actual job is this time, because one time it might be shearing, another time it might be they want a bit of fencing done, they might be a hay client, they might want to buy a hay office in the winter.
Hey again, Andy.
Yeah, so the fence over there,
yeah.
It's just, over the years it's just falling to pieces.
Yeah.
I've tried patching it up.
Yeah.
But they're just still getting across, eh? They're just poking, they're like bloody goats.
I'd say probably need a bit of, we think to put a couple of electrical wires on, you know, and...
Edsell kindly is going to take these rogue cattle that have been walking through our netting fences and through into the neighbours, she's getting a bit upset and irate, and I'm getting irate, and the cattle have just helped themselves to her feed, destroyed our fences, so we need to give it a bit of a break, look at re-fencing some way, and then we'll bring them back a couple of months later.
Just wait a minute, I'll put these gates up.
There's a couple of neighbours around here that use them as well for shearing the sheep, looking after the sheep, the drenching and the crutching and all that entails that when you've got livestock. And so with the fencing, he's got a bit of land, so he's going to use his grass to feed them up for a couple of months, and that'll give us a break and a bit of a chance to have a look at what we're going to do and see how we can keep the grass down, because we're just essentially using them as lawnmowers.
Come on, that's it. Good boy. Shearing's a great way to keep yourself fit. It depends what you do and how you treat your body and look after it. And then, I mean, there's nothing better than a bit of sweat coming out of your body. And so really up to the individual person. If they knock their body around, it's going to be hard on you. If you keep yourself fit, and in shearing, that's a big thing. You can shear for a long time. A lot of times I shear on my trailer outside. They haven't got facilities. This place has got there's a few ones that have a few little facilities. There's all sorts. So now you go from rounding the sheep up into a little on the top of the trailer to this. So yeah, it's you get all sorts. You know, there's no fix. So you've got to be prepared when you go to a place. What they got, they usually ask them, or Margaret will say, "What do you got there?" If they've got a shearing plant and a shed or in a horse box or whatever, you know that. And if they haven't, you go with the gates and have your gates and put it out and round them up. So yeah, it's not like go and put your handpiece on a machine and just shear. So there's a lot of work involved if they haven't prepared, you know. You don't go out and break records doing this sort of job. It's a different sort of cycle altogether. You're sort of, because you're only shearing 5s or 10s or 15s or whatever, you just go there and there's no good getting hyped up. You don't have to shear 200 or 300 or 400 sheep. You just take one at a time and move on to the next one. So yeah, I suppose it's a good way to wind down from shearing.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.